glasses to make it easier on my eyeballs. Alright, let's see how much we can do here. My family's sleeping some time right now, though. Alright, we're in chapter 29, so. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph that Laban went to shear his sheep, for they were distant from him a 3 days' journey. And Jacob saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep. And Jacob called Leah and Rachel and spoke kindly to them, that they should come with him to the land of Canaan. For he told them how he had seen everything in a dream, even all that he had spoken to him, that he should return to his father's house. And they said, to every place wherever you go, we will go with you. And Jacob blessed of Isaac his father, the God of Abraham his father's father. And he arose and mounted his wives and his children, and took all his possessions, and crossed the river, and came to the land of Gilead. And Jacob hid his intention from Laban, and told him not. And in the 7th year of the 4th week, Jacob turned his face toward Gilead in the first month. Reading too. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Laban went to shear his sheep, for they were distant from him 3 days' journey. And Jacob saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep. And Jacob called Leah and Rachel and spoke kindly to them, that they should come with him to the land of Canaan. For he told them how he had seen everything in a dream, even all that he had spoken to him, that he should return to his father's house. And they said, to every place wherever you go, we will go with you. And Jacob blessed of Isaac his father, and the God of Abraham his father's father. And he arose and mounted his wives and his children, and took all his possessions, and crossed the river. Jacob turned his face toward Gilead in the first month, on the 21st of it. And Laban pursued after him, and overtook Jacob in the mountain of Gilead in the 3rd month, on the 13th of it. And did not suffer him to injure Jacob, for he appeared to him in a dream by night. And Laban spoke to Jacob. And on the 15th of those days, Jacob made a feast for Laban and for all those who came with him. And Jacob swore to Laban that day, and Laban also to Jacob, that neither should cross the mountain of Gilead witness after this heap. But before they used to call the land of Gilead the land of Rephaim, for it was the land of Rephaim, and the Rephaim were born there to Mount Hermon. And the seats of their kingdom were Karnaim and Ashtaroth and Eri and Misr and Beon, and destroyed them because of the evil of their deeds, for they were very malignant, and the Amorites dwelt in their stead, wicked and sinful. And there is no people today which was wrought to the full all their sins, and they no longer length of life on the earth. And Jacob sent away Laban, and he departed into Mesopotamia, the land of the east. And Jacob returned to the land of Gilead, and he passed over the Jabbok in the 9th month, on the 11th of it. And on that day Esau his brother came to him, and he was reconciled to him, and departed from him to the land of Seir. But Jacob dwelt in tents. And in the 1st year of the 5th week, in this Jubilee, he crossed the Jordan, and dwelt beyond the Jordan. And he pastured his sheep from the sea of the heap of Bethshan, and to Dothan, and to the forest of Agrabum. And he sent to his father Isaac of all his substance, clothing and food and meat and drink and milk and butter and cheese, and some dates of the valley. And to his mother Rebekah also 4 times a year, between the times of the months, between plowing and reaping, and between autumn and the rain season, and between winter and spring, to the tower of Abraham. For Isaac had returned from the well of the oath, and gone up to the tower of his father Abraham. And he dwelt there apart from his son Esau. For in the days when Jacob went to Mesopotamia, Esau took to himself a wife, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, and he gathered together all the flocks of his father and his wives, and went up and dwelt on Mount Seir, and left Isaac his father at the well of the oath alone. And Isaac went up from the well of the oath and dwelt in the tower of Abraham his father on the mountains of Hebron. And there Jacob sent all that he sent to his father and his mother from time to time, all they needed, and they blessed Jacob with all their heart and with all their soul. Could you hear my audio? Make sure that so I don't. Sometimes my videos haven't had sound. Reading the book of Jubilees here. Wanted to read the whole thing on here because I hadn't read it yet, and I really wanted to, and I had access to an apocrypha for a while, and then still wanted to finish the book, and I just found out a way to do that. So, in the first year of the 6th week, he went up to Salem, to the east of Shechem, in peace in the 4th month. And there they carried off Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, into the house of Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the land, and he lay with her and defiled her, and she was a little girl, a child of 12 years. Oh, that's. And he besought his father and her brothers that she might be given to him to wife. And Jacob and his sons were angry because of the men of Shechem, for they had defiled Dinah their sister, and they spoke to them with evil intent, and dealt deceitfully with them, and beguiled them. And Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem, and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem, and slew all the men whom they found in it, and left not a single one remaining in it. They slew all in torments because they had dishonored their sister Dinah, and thus let it not again be done from henceforth that a daughter of Israel be defiled. For judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy with the sword all the men of the Shechemites, because they had brought shame in Israel. I think I remember judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy with the sword all the men of the Shechemites, because they had brought shame in Israel. And delivered them into the hands of the sons of Jacob, that they might exterminate them with the sword, and execute judgment upon them, and that it might not thus again be done in Israel, that a virgin of Israel should be defiled. And if there is any man who wishes in Israel to give his daughter or his sister to a man who is of the seed of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. And they shall stone him with stones, for he has brought shame in Israel. And they shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Israel. And let not an adulteress and no uncleanliness be found in Israel, and no uncleanliness be found in Israel throughout all the days of the generations of the earth. For Israel's whole is no limit of days, and no remission, nor any atonement. But the man who has defiled his daughter shall be rooted out in the middle of all Israel, because he has given of his seed to Moloch, and done impiously so as to defile. And do you, Moses, command the children of Israel, and exhort them not to give their daughters to the Gentiles, and not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the Gentiles. For this is abominable before Yah. For this reason I have written to you in the words of the law all the deeds of the Shechemites, which they did against Dinah, and how the sons of Jacob spoke, saying, We will not give our daughter to a man who is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach to us. And it is a reproach to Israel, to those who live, and to those that take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abominable to Israel. And Israel will not be free from this uncleanliness, if it has a wife of if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentiles, or has given any of its daughters to a man who is of any of the Gentiles. For there will be plague upon plague and curse upon curse, and every judgment and plague and curse will come if he do this thing or hide his eyes from those who commit uncleanliness, or those who defile the sanctuary of Yah, or those who profane his holy name. Then will the whole nation together be judged for all the uncleanliness and profanation of this man, and there will be no respect to persons, and no consideration of persons, and no receiving at his hands of fruits and offerings, and burnt offerings and fat, nor the fragrance of sweet savor, so as to accept it, and so fare every man or woman in Israel who defiles the sanctuary. For this reason I have commanded you, saying, testify this testimony to Israel. See how the Shechemites fared, and their sons, how they were delivered into the hands of two sons of Jacob, and they slew them under tortures, and it was reckoned to them for righteousness, and it is written down to them for righteousness. And the seed of Levi was chosen for the priesthood, and to be Levites, that they might minister before Yah as we continually, and that Levi and his sons may be blessed forever, for he was zealous to execute righteousness and judgment and vengeance on all those who arose against Israel. And so they inscribe as a testimony in his favor on the heavenly tablets blessing and righteousness before Yah of all. And we remember the righteousness which the man fulfilled during his life at all periods of the year until 1,000 generations. They will record it, and it will come to him and to his descendants after him, and he has been recorded on the heavenly tablets as a friend and a righteous man. All this account I have written for you, and have commanded you to say to the children of Israel, that they should not commit sin, nor transgress the ordinances, nor break the covenant which has been ordained for them, but that they should fulfill it and be recorded as friends. But if they transgress and work uncleanliness in every way, they will be recorded on the heavenly tablets as adversaries, and they will be destroyed out of the book of life. And they will be recorded in the book of those who will be destroyed, and with those who will be rooted out of the earth. And on that day, when the sons of Jacob slew Shechem, a writing was recorded in their favor in heaven, that they had executed righteousness and uprightness and vengeance on the sinners, and it was written for a blessing. And they brought Dinah, their sister, out of the house of Shechem, and they took captive everything that was in Shechem, their sheep and their oxen and their donkeys and all their wealth and all their flocks, and brought them all to Jacob their father. And he reproached them because they had put the city to the sword, for he feared those who dwelt in the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and the dread of Yah was upon all the cities which were round about Shechem, and they did not rise to pursue after the sons of Jacob, for terror had fallen upon them. I think, yeah, it sounds like what I remember reading, I guess, in the accounts of Simeon and Levi in the 12 patriarchs. Nah, I quit smoking weed for now. Reality's trippy enough as it is. Northern lights happening everywhere again. Things are changing. Anyways, we're reading Jubilees right now. Trying to get as much done of this before my eyeballs are having a really hard time looking at this screen. And on the new moon of the month, we're in chapter 31 now. I did read 29, yeah. 30. Okay, we're in chapter 31. And on the new moon of the month, Jacob spoke to all the people of his house, saying, purify yourselves and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel. For I vowed a vow to him on the day when I fled from the face of Esau my brother, because he has been with me, and brought me into this land in peace, and put you away the strange gods that are among you. And they gave up the strange gods, and that was in the ears, and which was on the necks, and the idols which Rachel stole from Laban her father, she gave wholly to Jacob. I was wondering what happened to that and why Rachel even stole that in the account of Genesis, like why she took that idolatry from Laban's house. Like, what did she even? Maybe she wanted to just. And he took two of his sons with him, Levi and Judah, and he came to his father Isaac and to his mother Rebekah. And Rebekah came forth from the tower to the front of it to kiss Jacob and embrace him, for her spirit had revived when she heard, "Behold, Jacob, your son has come." And she kissed him, and she saw his two sons, and she recognized them, and said to him, Are these your sons, my son?" And she embraced them and kissed them and blessed them, saying, "In you shall the seed of Abraham become illustrious, and you shall prove a blessing on the earth." And Jacob went into Isaac his father to the chamber where he lay, and his two sons were with him. And he took the hand of his father, stooping down, he kissed him. And Isaac clung to the neck of Jacob his son and wept upon his neck. And the darkness left the eyes of Isaac, and he saw the two sons of Jacob, Levi and Judah, and he said, "Are these your sons, my son? For they are like you." And he said to him that they were truly his sons, and you have truly seen that they are truly my sons. And they came near to him, and he turned and kissed them and embraced them both together. And the spirit of prophecy came down into his mouth, and he took Levi by his right hand and Judah by his left. And he turned to Levi first and began to bless him first, and said to him, "Ages, may Yah of all, the very Yah of all ages, bless you and your children throughout all and may Yah give you and to your seed greatness and great glory, and cause you and your seed from among all flesh to approach him to serve in his sanctuary as the angels of the presence, as the holy ones, even as they shall the seed of your sons be for glory and greatness and holiness. And may he make them great to all ages, and they shall be judges and princes and chiefs of all the seed of the sons of Jacob. They shall speak the word of Yah in righteousness, and they shall judge all his judgments in righteousness, and they shall declare my ways to Jacob and my paths to Israel." Hold on, I'm going to go read something. He came to bless it. Okay, this is the blessing to Levi then. They shall speak the word of Yah in righteousness, and they shall judge all his judgments in righteousness, and they shall declare my ways to Jacob and my paths to Israel. The blessing of Yah shall be given in their mouths, to bless all the seed of the beloved. Your mother has called your name Levi, and justly has she called your name. You shall be joined to Yah, and be the companion of all the sons of Jacob. Let his table be yours, and your sons eat of it. And may your table be full to all generations, and your food fail not to all the ages. And let all who hate you fall down before you, and let all your adversaries be rooted out and perish. And blessed be he that blesses you, and cursed be every nation that curses you. And to Judah he said, "May Yah give you strength and power to tread down all that hate you. A prince shall you be, you and one of your sons over the sons of Jacob. May your name and the name of your sons go forth and traverse every land and region. Then shall the Gentiles fear before your face, and all the nations shall quake, and all the people shall quake. All the peoples shall quake, and you shall be the help of Jacob, and in you be found the salvation of Israel. And when you sit on the throne of honor of your righteousness, there shall be great peace for all the seed of the sons of the beloved. Blessed be he that blesseth you, and all that hate you and afflict you, and all that hate you and afflict you and curse you shall be rooted out and destroyed from the earth and be accursed." And turning, he kissed him again, embraced him, and rejoiced greatly, for he had seen the sons of Jacob, his son, in very truth. And he went out from between his feet and fell down and bowed down to him, and he blessed them. and rested there with Isaac his father that night, and they eat and drank with joy. And he made the two sons of Jacob sleep, the one on his right hand and the other on his left, and it was counted to him for righteousness. And Jacob told his father everything during the night, how Yah had shown him great mercy, and how he had prospered him in all his ways and protected him from all evil. Praise Yah. And Isaac blessed Yah of his father Abraham, who had not withdrawn his mercy and his righteousness from the sons of his servant Isaac. And in the morning Jacob told his father Isaac the vow which he had vowed to Yah, and the vision which he had seen, and that he had built an altar, and that everything was ready for the sacrifice to be made before as he had vowed, and that he had come to set him on an ass. And Isaac said to Jacob his son, I am not able to go with you, for I am old and not able to bear the way. Go, my son, in peace, for I am 165 years. This day no longer able to journey. Set your mother on an ass and let her go with you. And I know, my son, that you have come on my account, and may this day be blessed on the vow which you have vowed, and put not off your vow, for you shall be called to account as touching the vow. Now, therefore, make haste to perform it, and may he be pleased who has made all things, to whom you have vowed the vow. And he said to Rebekah, Go with Jacob your son. And Rebekah went with Jacob her son, and Deborah with her. And they came to Bethel. And Jacob remembered the prayer with which his father had blessed him and his two sons, Levi and Judah. And he rejoiced and blessed Yah of his fathers, Abraham and Isaac. And he said, Now I know that I have eternal hope, and my sons also, before Yah of all. And thus it is ordained concerning the two, that they record it as an eternal testimony to them on the heavenly tablets, how Isaac blessed them. All right, chapter 32. And he abode that night at Bethel, and Levi dreamed that they had ordained and made him the priest of the Most High Yah, him and his sons forever. And he awoke from his sleep and blessed Yah. And Jacob rose early in the morning on the 14th of this month, and he gave a tithe of all that came with him, both of men and cattle, both of gold and every vessel and garment. Yea, he gave tithes of all. And in those days Rachel became pregnant with her son Benjamin. And Jacob counted his sons from upwards, and Levi fell to the portion of Yah. And his father clothed him in the garments of the priesthood, and filled his hands. And on the 15th of this month he brought to the altar 14 oxen from amongst the cattle, and 28 rams, and 49 sheep, and 7 lambs, and 21 kids of the goats as a burnt offering on the altar of sacrifice, well pleasing for a sweet savor before Yah. This was his offering in consequence of the vow which he had vowed, that he would give a tenth with the fruit offering and their drink offering. And when the fire had consumed it, he burnt incense on the fire over the fire, and for a thank offering 2 oxen and 4 rams and 4 sheep, 4 he-goats and 2 sheep of a year old, and 2 kids of the goats. Men and Levi discharged the priestly office at Bethel before Jacob his father, in preference to his 10 brothers. And for this reason is ordained on the heavenly tablets as a law for the tithing, again the tithe to eat before Yah from year to year, in the place where it is chosen that his name should dwell. And to this law there is no limit of days forever. There it is again, Deuteronomy 12 and 16. Don't be trying to keep his holy feasts on any calendar out of the many calendar pitting contests. You do it in the place that he chooses. You don't want to go into presumptuous, rebellious sins and be feasting when we're supposed to be attending to the build from year to year, and eating the second tithe before Yah in the place where it has been chosen, and nothing shall remain over from it from year to year. And the wine till the days of the wine, and the oil to the days of its season, and all days of its season, and all that is left of it and becomes old, let it be regarded as polluted, let it be burnt with fire, for it is unclean. and thus let them eat it together in the sanctuary, and let them not suffer it to become old. And all the tithes of the oxen and sheep shall be holy to Yah, and shall belong to his priests, which they will eat before him from year to year. For thus it is ordained and engraven regarding the tithe on the heavenly tablets. And on the following night, on the 22nd day of this month, Jacob resolved to build that place and to surround the court with the wall and to sanctify it and make it holy forever for himself and his children after him. And Yah appeared to him by night and blessed him and said to him, Your name shall not be called Jacob, but Israel shall they call your name. And he said to him again, I am Yah who created the heaven and the earth, and I will increase you and multiply you exceedingly, and kings shall come forth from you, and they shall judge everywhere, wherever the foot of the sons of men has trodden. And I'll give to your seed all the earth which is under heaven, and they shall judge all the nations according to their desires. And after that, they shall get possession of the whole earth and inherit it forever. And he finished speaking with him, and he went and finished speaking with him, and he went up from him. And Jacob looked till he had ascended into heaven, and he saw in a vision of the night, and behold, an angel descended from heaven with 7 tablets in his hands, and he gave them to Jacob. And he read them and knew all that was written therein, which would befall him and his sons throughout all the ages. And he showed him all that was written on the tablets, and said to him, Do not build this place, and do not make it an eternal sanctuary, and do not dwell here, for this is not the place. Go to the house of Abraham your father, and dwell with Isaac your father until the day of the death of your father. For in Egypt you shall die in peace, and in this land you shall be buried with honor in the sepulchre of your fathers with Abraham and Isaac. Fear not, for as you have seen and read, it shall all be, and write down everything as you have seen and read. And Jacob said, Yeah, how can I remember all that I have read and seen? And he said to him, I will bring all things to your remembrance. Praise Yah. And he went up from him, and he woke from his sleep, and he remembered everything which he had read and seen, and he wrote down all the words which he had read and seen, and he celebrated there yet another day, and he sacrificed thereon according to all that he sacrificed on the former days, and called his name Addition. For this day was added, and the former days he called the feast. And thus it was manifested that it should be, and it is written on the heavenly tablets, wherefore it was revealed to him that he should celebrate it and and add to the 7 days of the feast. And his name was called Addition, because it was recorded amongst the days of the feast days according to the number of the days of the year. In the night on the 23rd of this month, Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and they buried her beneath the city under the oak of the river. And he called the name of this place the river of Deborah, and the oak of the morning of Deborah. And Rebekah went and returned to her house to his father Isaac. And Jacob sent by her hand rams and sheep and he goats, that she should prepare a meal for his father, such as he desired. And he went after his mother till he came to the land of Cabratan, and he dwelt there. And Rachel bore a son in the night, and called his name Son of My Sorrow, for she suffered in giving him birth. But his father called his name Benjamin on the 11th of the 8th month, in the first week of the 6th week of this Jubilee. And Rachel died there, and she was buried in the land of Ephrath, the same as Bethlehem. And Jacob built a pillar on the grave of Rachel on the road above her grave. chapter 33. Oh, that's it. I think I could get as far as I wanted to get tonight. And Jacob went and dwelt to the south of Magdalareph, and he went to his father Isaac, he and Leah his wife, on the new moon of the 10th month. And Reuben saw Bilhah, Rachel's maid, the concubine of his father, bathing in water in a secret place, and he loved her. And he hid himself at night, and he entered the house of Bilhah at night, and he found her sleeping alone on a bed in her house. And he lay with her, and she awoke and saw, and behold, Reuben was lying with her in the bed, and she uncovered the border of her covering and seized him and cried out and discovered that it was Reuben, and she was ashamed because of him and released her hand from him, and he fled. And she lamented because of this thing exceedingly and did not tell it to anyone. And Jacob returned and sought her. She said to him, I am not clean for you, for I have been defiled as regards you, for Reuben has defiled me and has lain with me in the night. And I was asleep and did not discover until he uncovered my skirt and slept with me. And Jacob was exceedingly angry with Reuben because he had lain with Bilhah, because he had uncovered his father's skirt. That was in 12 patriarchs too. And Jacob did not approach her again because Reuben had defiled her. And as for any man who uncovers his father's skirt, his deed is wicked exceedingly, is abominable before Yah. For this reason it is written and ordained on the heavenly tablets that a man should not lie with his father's wife, and should not have done uncleanliness on the earth. And there shall be nothing unclean before Yah in the nation which he has chosen for himself as a possession. And again it is written a second time, cursed be he who lieth with the wife of his father, for he has uncovered his father's shame. And all the holy ones of Yah said, so be it, so be it. That's what happened with one of Noah's sons too, uncovering his father's nakedness. And do you, Moses, command the children of Israel that they observe this word, for it entails a punishment of death, and it is unclean, and there is no atonement forever to atone for the man who has committed this, but he is to be put to death and slain, and stoned with stones, and rooted out from the middle of the people of our Yah. For to no man who does so in Israel is permitted to remain alive a single day on the earth, for he is abominable and unclean. And let them not say to Reuben was granted life and forgiveness after he had lain with his father's concubine. To her also, though she had a husband, and her husband Jacob his father was still alive. For until that time there had not been revealed the ordinance and judgment and law in its completeness for all. But in your days it has been revealed as a law of seasons and of days, and an everlasting law for the everlasting generations. And for this law there is no consummation of days and no atonement for it, but they must both be rooted out in the middle of the nation. On the day whereon they committed it, they shall slay them. And do you, Moses, write it down for Israel, that they may observe it and do according to these words, and not commit a sin to death. For Yah, our Creator, is judge who respects not persons and accepts not gifts. And tell them these words of the covenant, that they may hear and observe and be on their guard with respect to them, and not be destroyed and rooted out of the land for an uncleanliness, an abomination, and a contamination, and pollution are all they who commit to Yah its Creator, and a nation of inheritance, a priestly and a royal nation for his own possession. And there shall no such uncleanliness appear in the middle of the holy nation. In the 3rd year of the 6th week, Jacob and all his sons went and dwelt in the house of Abraham near Isaac his father. Sons of Zilpah, Gad, and Asher, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, the only daughter of Jacob. And they came and bowed themselves to Isaac and Rebekah, and when they saw them, they blessed Jacob and all his sons. And Isaac rejoiced exceedingly, for he saw the sons of Jacob, his younger son, and he blessed them. And in the 6th year of this week of the 44th Jubilee, we're in chapter 34 now. Jacob sent his sons to pass, and in the sixth year of this week of this 44th Jubilee, Jacob sent his sons to pasture their sheep, and his servants with them to pass to the pastures of Shechem. And the 7 kings of the Amorites assembled themselves together against them to slay them, hiding themselves under the trees and to take their cattle as a prey. And Jacob and Leah and Judah and Joseph were in the house with Isaac their father, for his spirit was sorrowful, and they could not leave him. And Benjamin was the youngest, and for this reason remained with his father. And there came the kings of Taphu, and the kings of Arissa, and the kings of Sargon, and the king of Silo, and the kings of Gas, and the king of Betharon, and the king of Manaskir, and all those who dwell in these mountains, and who dwell in the woods in the land of Canaan. And they announced this to Jacob, saying, Behold, the kings of the Amorites have surrounded your sons and plundered their herds. And he arose from his house, he and his 3 sons, and all the servants of his father and his own servants, and he went against them with 6,000 men, who carried swords, and he slew them in the pastures of Shechem, and pursued those who fled, and he slew them with the edge of his sword. And he slew Arissa and Taphu and Sargon and Selo and Emekir, Sakir and Gagas, and he recovered his herds, and he prevailed over them and imposed tribute on them, that they should pay him tribute 5 fruit products of their land. And he built Robel and Tamnatters, and he returned in peace and made peace with them, and they became his servants until the day that he and his sons went down into Egypt. And in the 7th year of this week he sent Joseph to learn about the welfare of his brothers from his house to the land of Shechem, and he found them in the land of Dothan, and they dealt treacherously with him and formed a plot against him to slay him. But changing their minds, they sold him to Ishmaelite merchants, and they brought him down into Egypt, and they sold him to Potiphar, the eunuch of Pharaoh, the chief of the cooks, priest of the city of Elu. And the sons of Jacob slaughtered a kid and dipped the coat of Joseph in the blood and sent it to Jacob, their father, on the 10th of the 7th month. And he mourned all that night, for they had brought it to him in the evening, and he became feverish with mourning for his death. And he said, An evil beast has devoured Joseph, and all the members of his house mourned with him that day, and they were grieving mourning with him all that day. And his sons and his daughter rose up to comfort him, and he refused to be comforted for his son. And on that day Bilhah heard that Joseph had perished, and she died mourning him, and she was living in Kephrateph. And Dinah also, his daughter, died after Joseph had perished. And there came these 3 mournings upon Israel in 1 month. Oh man, that's heavy. They caused a lot of grief with what they did to Joseph, it looks like. And there came these 3 mournings upon Israel in 1 month, and they buried Bilhah over against the tomb of Rachel, and they buried also his daughter Dinah there. And he mourned for Joseph 1 year and did not cease, for he said, Let me go down to the grave mourning for my son. For this reason is ordained for the children of Israel, that they should afflict themselves on the 10th of the 7th month, on the day that the news which made him weep for Joseph came to Jacob his father, that they should make atonement for themselves thereon with a young goat on the 10th of the 7th month, once a year, for their sins, for they had grieved the affection of their father regarding Joseph his son. And this day has been ordained that they should grieve thereon for their sins, and for all their transgressions, and for all their errors, so that they might cleanse themselves on that day once a year. And after Joseph perished, the sons of Jacob took to themselves wives. The name of Reuben's wife is Adah, and the name of Simeon's wife is Adibah, a Canaanite, and the name of Levi's wife is Milcah, of the daughters of Aram, of the seed of the sons of Terah, and the name of Judah's wife Betsul, a Canaanite, and the name of Issachar's wife Hezekiah, and the name of Zebulun's wife um, Nimman, and the name of Dan's wife Eglah, and the name of Naphtali's wife Rasu, and of Mesopotamia, and the name of Gad's wife Makkah, and the name of Asher's wife Ijona, and the name of Joseph's wife Asnath, and Asnath the Egyptian, and the name of Benja's wife Jessica. And Simeon repented and took a wife from Mesopotamia as his brothers. And Simon repented and took a second wife from Mesopotamia as his brothers. Chapter 35. And in the first year of the first week of the 45th Jubilee, Rebekah called Jacob her son, and commanded him regarding his father and regarding his brother, that he should honor them all the days of his life. And Jacob said, I will do everything as you have commanded me, for this thing will be honor and greatness to me, and righteousness before Yah, that I should honor them. And you too, mother, know from the time I was born until this day all my deeds and all that is in my heart, that I always think good concerning all. And how should I not do this thing which you have commanded me, that I should honor my father and my brother? Tell me, mother, what perversity have you seen in me? And I shall turn away from it, and mercy will be upon me. And she said to him, My son, I have not seen in you all my days any perverse, but only upright deeds. And yet I will tell you the truth, my son. I shall die this year, and I shall not survive this year in my life, for I have seen in a dream the day of my death, that I should not live beyond 155 years. And behold, I have completed all the days of my life which I am to live. And Jacob laughed at the words of his mother, because his mother had said to him that she should die, and she was sitting opposite to him in possession of her strength, and she was not infirm in her strength, for she went in and out and saw, and her teeth were strong, and no ailment had her all the days of her life. And Jacob said to her, Blessed am I, mother, if my days approach the days of your life, and my strength remain with me. Thus is your strength, and you must not die, for you are jesting idly with me regarding your death. And she went in to Isaac and said to him, One petition I make to you, make Esau swear that he will not injure Jacob, nor pursue him with enmity. For you know Esau's thoughts, that they are perverse from his youth, and there is no goodness in him, for he desires after your death to kill him. And you know all that he has done since the day Jacob his brother went to Haran until this day, how he has forsaken us with his whole heart, and has done evil to us. Your flocks he has taken to himself, and carried off all your possessions from before your face. And when we implored and besought him for what was our own, he did as a man who was taking pity on us. And he is bitter against you, because you blessed Jacob, your perfect and upright son, for there is no evil, but only goodness in him. And since he came from Haran to this day, he has not robbed us of anything, for he brings us everything in its season always, and rejoices with all his heart when we take it his hands, and he blesses us, and is not parted from us since he came from Haran until this day. And he remains with us continually at home, honoring us. And Isaac said to her, I too know and see the deeds of Jacob, who is with us, how that with all his heart he honors us. But I loved Esau formerly more than Jacob, because he was the firstborn. But now I love Jacob more than Esau, for he has done manifold evil deeds, and there is no righteousness in him. For all his ways are unrighteousness and violence, and there is no righteousness around him. And now my heart is troubled because of all his deeds, and neither he nor his seed is to be saved, for they are those who will be destroyed from the earth, and who will be rooted out from under heaven. For he has forsaken Yahweh Abraham, and gone after his wives, and after their uncleanliness, and after their error, he and his children. And you do bid me make him swear that he will not slay Jacob his brother, even if he swear he will not abide by his oath, and he will not do good but evil only. But if he desires to slay Jacob his brother, into Jacob's hands will he be given, and he will not escape from his hands, for he will descend into his hands. And fear you not on account of Jacob, for the guardian of Jacob is great and powerful and honored and praised more than the guardians of Esau. And Rebekah sent and called Esau, and he came to her, and she said to him, I have a petition, my son, to make to you. And do you promise to do it, my son? And he said, I will do everything that you say is to me, and I will not refuse your petition. And she said to him, I ask you that the day I die you must take me in and bury me near Sarah, your father's mother, and that you and Jacob will love each other, and that neither will desire evil against the other, but mutual love only. And so you will prosper, my sons, and be honored in the middle of the land, and no enemy will rejoice over you, and you will be a blessing and a mercy in the eyes of all those that love you. And he said, I will do all that you have told me, and I shall bury you on the day you diest near Sarah, my father's mother, as you have desired, that her bones may be near your bones. And Jacob, my brother, also I shall love above all flesh, for I have not a brother in all the earth but him only, and there is no great merit for me if I love him. For he is my brother, and we were sown together in your body, and together came we forth from your womb. And if I do not love my brother, whom shall I love? And I myself beg you to exhort Jacob concerning me and concerning my sons, for I know that he will assuredly be king over me and my sons. For on the day my father blessed him, he made him the higher and me the lower. And I swear to you that I shall love him and not desire evil against him all the days of my life, but good only. And he swore to her regarding all this matter. And she called Jacob before the eyes of Esau, and gave him commandment according to the words which she had spoken to Esau. And he said, I shall do your pleasure. Believe me that no evil will proceed from me or my sons against Esau, and I shall be first and not save in love only. And they ate and drank, she and her sons, that night, and she died 3 jubilees and 1 week and 1 year old on that night. And her son and her 2 sons, Esau and Jacob, buried her in the double cave near Sarah, their father's mother. I'm going to leave it there for now. Continue on with chapter 36. Praise, yeah.